Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." The famous author Tim Ferriss said, "If you win the morning, you win the day." These quotes are both about having fantastic mornings and how it leads to a better life. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the very best, most effective morning rituals. These are the behaviors used by top professionals and performers around the world, and they make their lives better. I believe they can do the same for you. I love the smell of possibility in the morning. My name is Tyus. I make videos about how to live a freer life. Now, they say that it's easy to spot somebody who makes bad choices, especially when it's not yourself. But it's really hard to identify what makes people successful. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But they also say that success leaves clues, and those clues can be deciphered. Now, one very, very obvious clue that successful people leave behind is that they all seem to have very specific morning rituals, morning routines. And in this video, we're going to dive in and look at some of those routines and some of those behaviors. Everybody does it a little different, so what we're gonna throw at you is a bunch of different ideas, a bunch of best practices that you can adopt to have a wonderful morning and hopefully improve the rest of your day and the rest of your life because of it. Morning rituals have been shown to increase productivity, reduce stress, improve mental health. They eliminate anxiety, or at least minimizes anxiety. It increases efficiency and it improves sleep quality. So there's a lot of good things going for creating a good morning ritual, morning routine, if you will. So we're going to look at 4 types of behaviors, all of which start with the letter C. I've called this my C4 strategy for years and years. Basically, they're the 4 areas of my life that I like to keep in balance, and they are cognitive, which is all about your mind; conditioning, which is going to be your health and your fitness; capital, which is all about making money or time, whatever resources you've got; and then connections, which is going to be your relationships. Now, before we jump in and go through all of the different behaviors that are ideal for a great morning ritual or a morning routine, you should start off, before you even look at those, at figuring out what your existing morning routine is. And you can evaluate that pretty easily by putting like a notepad down or using your phone, whatever way you want to take notes. You should keep a list of what you do in the morning. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't have a morning ritual. I bet you do. I bet every morning you're probably doing very similar things. Maybe not every morning, but probably a lot of mornings. So what you want to do is you want to write those down until you've got a nice long list and look at the things you do fairly commonly. So ask yourself, for each item on that list, is this something that harms you or is it something that helps you? Are you doing something bad? Like, are you constantly hitting the snooze button as an excuse not to get out of bed, or reaching for your phone or maybe a TV remote, something to distract you from getting your day going? Also, you could evaluate it and say, you know what, is this something that is absolutely non-negotiable? So no matter what, I'm not going to get rid of this behavior. For example, maybe it's going to the bathroom in the morning or brushing your teeth, or maybe you have to take medications. So figure out what behaviors in the morning you have that are good, what behaviors are bad, and what behaviors are really non-negotiable. They can't be changed no matter what. You're gonna wanna figure out what behaviors you wanna keep in the morning and what behaviors you should kind of get rid of. And both of which can be helpful in creating new habits. So with the behaviors you want to get rid of, you're going to use those, you're just going to replace them with new, better behaviors. So when you feel the urge to do something that you know is not helpful, you replace it with a different behavior. The good behaviors we'll use as triggers or reminders for the new behavior we want to take on. So if you've got something good that's working in your life, fantastic. Keep doing it, but make sure that you follow up that behavior with something new that you want to add to your morning. The first C in the C4 strategy is cognitive, which is all about your mind and your psychology. So things that you can do in the morning, well, I'm gonna go over several, but the first one I'm gonna suggest is going to be to make your bed in the morning. There's a US Navy admiral, his name is William McRaven, and he advocates strongly that you should make your bed in the morning. The reason for this is it gives you a small win. It's something very easy to do that often we don't want to do, but it gives you a win in the morning. So now you've just set up a good precedent for the rest of your day. But even if the rest of your day goes completely terrible, at least at the end of your day, you're going to have a nice place to lay down in and a nice place to go to sleep. He's so passionate about this that he wrote a book about it called Make Your Bed. Another great morning behavior is simply to meditate. Now, for me, I was reluctant to meditate for a very long time because it's a little woo spiritual, which is not my thing at all. However, it doesn't have to be spiritual, it doesn't have to be religious, it doesn't have to be any of that stuff. It's simply a matter of getting your mind in order, and you can do that just by being aware, being focused. So there's a lot of ways of meditating that are non-woo or spiritual, whatever. In fact, I'll probably make a video in the future about meditation specifically from that angle, and so if that's something you want to see, hit the subscribe button below because that way you'll be informed when it comes out. Anyways, back to meditation. Meditation is one of the things that is really surprising when you look at how many successful people add it to their morning routine on a regular basis. But when you look at the science behind it, it stops being surprising. In fact, meditation has been shown to reduce stress, it helps balance people's emotions, it increases focus, reduces pain, reduces anxiety, increases creativity, reduces depression, increases memory. That's a long enough list right there, right? But there's actually more benefits than even that. The next wonderful behavior you can use to help improve your mind is that of journaling. Whether you do that in a physical journal, whether you use the 5-minute journal method, the bullet journal method, the panda journal, there's a bunch of different journaling methods out there. I use a really basic bare bones piece of software called TextEdit, and I journal in that every single day. So journaling has been shown to increase your IQ. It also invokes mindfulness because you're being really thoughtful about your day and your behaviors. It helps people achieve goals. It increases emotional intelligence. It's been shown to improve memory because you're constantly thinking about what happened or what you want to plan for the rest of the day. It strengthens self-discipline, it improves communication skills, it sparks creativity, and it boosts self-confidence. So journaling has so many benefits. It only takes a little bit of time. It can take 5 minutes, maybe even less. It's absolutely worth doing. The next behavior worth considering is that of reading. Now, Steve Jobs defined intelligence as the ability to zoom in or out of a problem, basically gaining perspective. Some people only see the road directly ahead of them, while somebody who he considered to be really intelligent could look at the map and see where everything is going to figure out their whole path before they got there. The idea being, if you can zoom out and see the problem maybe from above or from a different vantage point, you end up being a smarter, more capable person. Well, that's exactly what books do. They expand your perspective, they help build your knowledge, and you ultimately co-opt the wisdom of the author who wrote the book. So reading in the morning is a fantastic way of growing your mind. Okay, this one is one of my favorites, and it's practicing gratitude. Now you might say, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? And a lot of people say, oh, I've got a gratitude practice. You're like, what do you mean? It could mean anything. It could mean that you journal things you're grateful for. It could mean that when you wake up, you think about what you're grateful for. It could just be during a meditation that you just continually go, you know what, this is what I'm happy about in my life. There's all kinds of ways to practice gratitude, and it's been shown to be really, really helpful. It reduces depression, improves physical health, improves relationships. It enhances your empathy and it minimizes aggression. It also can improve your self-esteem. Practicing gratitude makes me feel fantastic, and I hope it makes you feel fantastic too. The second area of the C4 strategy is that of condition, which is all about health, fitness, vitality. Here's the thing. If you don't feel great in the morning, if you don't feel great throughout the day, if you feel bad, you're gonna perform badly. And if you feel fantastic, you're gonna have more energy to be able to perform better. That's what conditioning is all about. If you're feeling tough and want a really nice physical challenge in the morning, try a cold water plunge. And what is that? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It means jumping into either a lake that is maybe even frozen over, or not frozen over, but very, very cold. It might mean jumping into an ice bath. They make these plunge tanks that cool the water down to just above freezing, and a lot of celebrities jump in them every single morning. I know Tony Robbins has one in every one of his homes where he stays at. So it's been shown to release endorphins, which really help you out. It reduces inflammation. It increases this thing called glutathione, which is an antioxidant in your body, which is good for you. It strengthens your immune system, it stabilizes your blood pressure. Here's the thing, these plunge tanks can cost thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. So if you don't have like crazy money lying around, which I don't, then a simple, easy way of doing this is to take a cold shower. I know, it sucks. but it also kind of feels great to know that you accomplished it first thing in the morning. Now, if the idea of a cold water plunge sounds way too crazy for you, you don't have to have cold water on the outside, it can be on the inside. One of the easiest morning rituals is simply to drink some water first thing in the morning. It does a bunch of good things for you. It flushes out toxins, it speeds up your metabolism, it increases your energy, and it can boost your immune system. So a simple little thing like a glass of water first thing in the morning can actually be really beneficial. They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. However, it's also probably the easiest meal of the day to skip, and some people skip it for good reasons. Some people are practicing things like intermittent fasting or they're tracking their calories. But studies have shown that breakfast will stimulate your metabolism. And that's even if you had the same meal at a different time of day. It has something to do with eating early when you first wake up. It also balances out your blood sugar and it increases your energy. So it might actually be the most important meal of the day and something that you shouldn't skip out on in the morning. Now, as somebody who really values his freedom, I try to avoid things that are addictive by nature. I try to stay away from drugs or things that I might just get hooked on. One of those things that I avoid is coffee, because I just see so many people every morning that can't go without their coffee. But it turns out coffee is a very common and very popular morning ritual for successful people. And if you do the research on it, coffee is generally a good thing. It improves memory, it decreases fatigue, it increases reaction time, and it just does a bunch of wonderful things in improving your mental function. I feel like this one's obvious, but working out is so important and one of the primary things that successful people do in the morning to get themselves into a peak state and to feel stronger. It helps people lose weight, and you'll look better naked. You know, if you needed any other motivation, maybe that's it. It makes people happier, it reduces stress, it boosts energy levels, it reduces the risk of all kinds of common diseases. So, of course, it's obvious that it's valuable to work out in the morning. A lot of us just don't do it because we don't prioritize it highly enough. So make it a priority for you. Make it part of your morning ritual. The third C in the C4 strategy is capital, which is all about your resources, not just what you own, but also the time that you have, the money that you have, the resources at your disposal. And that's an important thing to consider every single morning. So in this part, we're going to talk about 5 little habits that you can do that might help improve your capital. One amazing thing you can do for yourself is to start your day by setting your intentions. And what that means is simply asking the question, what do you want to accomplish today? It's a simple question, but come up with a few different answers. What asking yourself this question does is it activates a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, which is essentially a filter in your mind. See, every day we have more information coming in at us than we can possibly take in. So there's sound and there's lights and there's information, all the smells, everything. All kinds of stuff is happening. It's too much for us to handle. So our brain has this mechanism that filters through that information and it says, I'm only going to pay attention to stuff that's important. When you ask yourself, what is important? What do I want to accomplish? What is my intention for the day? Well, your brain is going to start looking for opportunities to achieve that, and you're going to become better at achieving your goals. If you really care about the resources you have in your life, then one thing you can do is review your calendar in the morning and block off your time into time chunks. Essentially, every little activity you have planned, you can set a fixed amount of time to get that stuff accomplished. And this has been shown to dramatically improve people's productivity. It lets them focus on a single task at a single time. Now, it's also shown that the smaller and more accurate you can get with these little time chunks, the better. Elon Musk blocks his day off into 5-minute increments, which is incredible given the fact that most people would not know what they could accomplish in 5 minutes, but he can seem to do that. Probably because he's been blocking his time off for a very, very long time. If you're starting with this and you're new to it, I recommend blocking your time off into much, much larger chunks. This is good for a couple of reasons. One is it's going to give you time to finish your task. 2 is as you finish your task, you'll be able to figure out how much time it actually took you to get it done. If you choose increments that are going to be too small, you won't finish the task at hand, and ultimately you won't know how to plan it the next time around because you won't know how long it actually took you. So that's a wonderful way to start your morning. Try blocking off your time by looking at your calendar and going through the day ahead of time. You'll get more accurate as you go.
Many peak performers, including myself, although I'm not sure I'd call myself a peak performer, they start their morning by setting goals. Now, I already made a video on SMART goals, so if you're a goal setter, you know the benefit of goals. If you are not a goal setter, I really strongly suggest you go check out my video about writing SMART goals. It'll go over a lot of the benefits, but it'll also teach you the right way to set goals so that they're set up to be a win for you every time. So when you set your goals in the morning, every morning, it helps you review what you want to accomplish so they're at the forefront of your mind, and it focuses your day. So it essentially acts as a reminder, hey, this is what I want to accomplish. I'm going to look for those opportunities every single day. Minding your business. Now, I don't mean that in the mean way. I don't mean like, you mind your own business. What I mean is mind the business that is pertinent to you. So my old boss, Tim Cook, runs a big fruit company. He gets up at like 4 a.m., sometimes a little earlier than 4 a.m., and the first thing he does is he reads emails that were given to him by customers. Feedback, essentially, is what he goes through. It might be reading the news about your company or the news about your given industry. It could be looking at the stock price, which is a powerful way of finding out what people value your company or your product as. So those are ways to mind your own business, and it's a great way of starting your day if resources is something you care a lot about. The last of the C4 strategies is that of connections. Now, this might mean the work associates that you have, or your employees if you're the boss. It could be your friends, it could be your loved ones, your family, your partner, whatever that might mean. It's all about your relationships. So here are 5 tips, 5 suggestions, 5 behaviors that you might want to add to your morning. One wonderful thing you can do in the morning is just connect with your pets. I know that seems like a ridiculous way of having a relationship, but it's actually a really easy way of exercising those relationship muscles, because pets will often wake you up and say, hey, I need to get taken outside, I need to go for a walk. But it helps you too. It releases a chemical called oxytocin when you connect with your pets. They call that also the love drug, but it does a bunch of wonderful things for your body. It makes you feel fantastic. You know, people call their pets their fur babies. Be a good parent to those pets, connect with them. It's gonna make you feel better. And while it seems ridiculous to think of it as a part of a relationship, it's a really important relationship you might have. One great thing you can do every morning for your loved ones or for whoever spent the night before is to make them breakfast in bed. It gives them a little bit of love. It's gonna make them super happy, but believe it or not, it's gonna make you happy as well, because you started your day out by helping somebody else, by giving an act of service to somebody that you care about, somebody that you might love, and that's fantastic. So it starts your day off happy, and hopefully that happiness will propagate throughout the rest of your day. If you are lucky enough to be the proud parent of some beautiful children, don't miss the opportunity to connect with them in the morning. Maybe that looks like making them breakfast. Maybe it's driving them to school. I know a lot of people look at this as a morning chore for themselves. However, you only get to connect with your children on that level and in that way for a very limited amount of time. So despite it feeling like a chore because it feels like something you have to do, it's something that you're only going to be able to do and get to do for a short period of time. I know a lot of people that don't get the opportunity to have children, and for them, the opportunity that you might have is something that they'll always miss. So don't make it wasted. The next little morning behavior that I have for you is something that I think I invented. I'm not sure, but I don't know anyone else who does it, and I don't think I've read it anywhere. But when I journal, I write down about somebody that I appreciate, somebody that I feel grateful for. And it might be a behavior that they do, it might be just something about them that I like, it might be just what I'm grateful for about a person, but I send that to them. So after I write it down, I don't send them my entire journal entry because that involves all kinds of thoughts, but I take out just the piece about them and I send it to them in an email. And a lot of people who have received that write me back telling me how much it means to them that I wrote that in my journal, because I put it in the email. I've got a templated email that says, hey, just so you know, this is what I wrote in my journal about you, and I make a habit of writing about somebody that I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for you. Here's the piece out of my journal. So it kind of prefaces it. They understand what it's about. They read it, and it recognizes them. It makes them feel fantastic because they are fantastic people. And in so doing, it makes me feel good that I made somebody else happy. And so it starts a day off right. Another fantastic way of connecting with people in the morning is simply by sending out birthday wishes. And that could be through text, through email. You could write physical cards if
Your handwriting is a lot better than mine. But regardless, sending out birthday wishes is a wonderful way of making other people feel really happy and really valued, and an easy way of you feeling great about contributing to those you care about. And it couldn't be easier than it ever has been, because all of that information now is just online. Facebook posts every day whose birthday it is on the friends that you're connected with. So it's really easy to find out who those people are, connect with them, and give them a nice birthday wish in the morning.
Is there anything that you do in your morning ritual or your morning routine that I didn't mention but you find really, really helpful? If so, please comment below with it, because I would love to learn other behaviors that people find valuable. I'm going to make a video in the near future, on specifically morning rituals and morning routines that are used by top celebrities. So if you're curious what Oprah Winfrey does or The Rock, what they do, well, I'm gonna make a video all about that. So hit the subscribe button or the bell if you wanna see that. And that way you'll be informed when it comes out. If you're enjoying this content, please share it with somebody who might value it as well, or somebody that might need to hear it. And also, please hit subscribe. I would really appreciate that, as I'm a new channel. I also really hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.